Hi, good morning, and welcome to the last of our Skype calls on DakotaLink. Just to let you all know, we are recording this session and we will be posting it after the meeting. Most likely it will be posted on the DakotaLink page on Dakota County's website. So on the website, just search for DakotaLink and you'll be able to find that recording. My name is Robin Bernardi, and I'm the Transportation Coordinator in Social Services. Also with me today is Melinda Stefanski and Debbie Defoe from Community Corrections. The purpose of these 30-minute calls is to really just have an open forum to give you some information about the DakotaLink bus service and also to answer any questions throughout the presentation. You can do that by using the chat feature on the left side of the screen and just typing in your questions, and we will get to as many questions as we can today. So in order for us to learn a little bit about you, we are going to have some poll questions throughout the presentation. We're going to open up our first poll question. And the purpose of these poll questions is to, again, just learn a little bit about you so we can better market and communicate information about DakotaLink, so we can learn who's receiving the information and how best can we get the information to you. So if you could let us know what part of the county that you work in. Looks like we have most folks from community services, one person from the library. Wonderful. And then for our poll question number 2, can you let us know what location is your primary location? So are you at the Northern Service Center, Western Service Center, at Hastings, or other? And again, this is just to help us best market and communicate the information about DakotaLink. All right, wonderful. We have a good mix. Most folks are from Northern, but we do also have folks from Western and Hastings. All right, so we'll go back to the PowerPoint. And just to tell you a little bit about the background of DakotaLink, so we did have an initial jail transportation pilot that started in July of 2018 to see if we could help individuals being released from jail in Hastings by getting them to somewhere that they could connect to transportation options. So before that pilot, folks were waiting for hours on end. We heard stories of people waiting an entire weekend to get a ride back to the cities. Folks were walking along Highway 55. They were hitchhiking along Highway 55. So none of these options are good options. None of these options are safe. So back in 2018, we used TransitLink and SmartRide to provide those shuttles. So what we found from that initial pilot was that the TransitLink option was not a long-term solution because of their no-show policy and their cancellation policy. Also that folks needed rides for more than just being released from jail. They needed rides coming back to Hastings for court. They needed rides to get to appointments in Hastings, things like that. So out of those lessons, DakotaLink was imagined. So DakotaLink started on September 10th of 2019. It's a loop between the Judicial Center in Hastings and Cedar Grove Transit Station in Eagan, and then the Signal Hill Shopping Center in West St. Paul, and then it comes back down to Hastings. So the pilot is a collaboration between a number of departments within community services and is paid for by Dakota County at no cost to riders. So riding DakotaLink for the riders themselves is free. The goal of the pilot program is really to ensure people receiving county services can successfully and safely get to and from Hastings. DakotaLink runs Monday through Friday, excluding holidays. We're contracting with Hastings Bus Company to provide the service. So the vehicle that we use is a small school bus, and it has a green and white DakotaLink sign in the window and on the door. When we were looking at stop locations, so where DakotaLink would stop on its route, we looked at the locations that would be the most convenient to transfer to, as well as looking at times that people would need to be getting in and out of Hastings. So we tried to align the times that DakotaLink leaves Hastings to jail release times. So it leaves Hastings once in the morning, once at midday, and then once in the afternoon or early evening. And then DakotaLink works to get people to court. That starts at 9 a.m. We get people back to Hastings at 8:40 for their 9 a.m. court, and then we get people back to Hastings at 12:40 for the 1 p.m. court time. And then court ends about 5 p.m., so the 5:30 route will help those that are finished with court for the day. For the transfer locations, at Cedar Grove Transit Center in Eagan, you can get to the Mall of America using the red line going northbound, and then hop on the blue line to go to downtown Minneapolis, and a host of other bus options there. If you take the red line south, you can get to Apple Valley and then the Western Service Center. At the stop at Signal Hills, which is at Butler and Robert Street in West St. Paul, you can take 3 different bus lines, the 75, 68, and 62 buses, northbound to get to downtown St. Paul, or you can take the 75 or the 68 bus southbound to get to the Northern Service Center, excuse me. As I said before, DakotaLink is free. So riding DakotaLink has no cost associated with it. However, if you're riding MBTA and Metro Transit connecting bus routes like the Red Line or the Blue Line or those buses that I just spoke about, riders will need either a GoTo Card, cash, or a bus token. Individuals can get a GoTo Card from the Sheriff's Office upon jail release, or from Community Corrections Office at the JDC from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. Riders can also get a GoTo Card at Metro Transit kiosks, which are located along the Red Line, along the Blue Line, and the Green Line, or at service stations, or they can get them at any Cub Food location throughout the metro area. So right at the Cub Food service desk, you can buy a GoTo Card. Many folks in social services already have a GoTo Card through Dakota County, so they can just use their existing GoTo Card for that connecting information. So I said that this service is available for individuals to conduct county business. DakotaLink is really intended to support individuals getting to and from their county appointments, especially those going to and from Hastings. So for individuals meeting with their financial worker, their social worker, probation officer, if they're attending a clinic, going to a court hearing, or for friends and family wanting to visit folks in jail or to add funds to their account. We've also had riders living in Hastings but going to the Matrix Emergency Shelter for the night, or living in Hastings and receiving employment services through the county and going to and from their jobs. It really is just anyone that's connected to Dakota County can ride DakotaLink for free. One DakotaLink rider said that while he was in jail, he was really nervous about how he was going to get home. He had heard from others how difficult it is to get out of Hastings and how few transportation options there were to get out of Hastings, and he didn't have anyone that was going to come down to Hastings and pick him up to bring him home. So when he learned about DakotaLink, he was very relieved. He said it was one thing that he did not have to worry about. He could find someone that would pick him up in West St. Paul or downtown St. Paul, and so he was able to get home. We wanted to share some data with you. Right now, we are having over 4 people ride DakotaLink every day, though we really think that there's more potential for additional riders than that, which is one reason that we're hosting these calls, to help get the word out The afternoon route, so starting at 5:30 from Hastings, is our most used route right now. So over 60% of riders are on that afternoon route. The typical rider boards the bus in Hastings and then is as likely to exit the bus in Eagan or West St. Paul. So about 50% of our riders that get on in Hastings get off in Eagan, and then the other 50% in West St. Paul. It's split pretty much down the middle. When individuals get on the DakotaLink bus, the bus operator is going to ask them what their final destination is and what county service they're connected to, just so we can, again, in this pilot phase, learn some information about the riders. Currently, about 60% of riders are connected to jail, so they're either being released or utilizing jail services. If you're thinking that this information sounds great, but you maybe have never ridden the bus before, you've just never ridden DakotaLink and you want to give it a try, we will be having several ride-along events in January just to test it out with some DakotaLink connected people. So you can email godakota@co.dakota.mn.us to register for one of the ride-along events. Friday, January 10th, we'll be starting at the Hastings campus. Thursday, January 23rd, we'll be starting at Western Service Center. And Friday, January 24th, we'll be starting at the Northern Service Center. So registration for these events is required. The events will take place between about 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. each of those days. But please register at GoDakota email address. Additional information about DakotaLink can be found on the external Dakota County website by searching DakotaLink, or you can email GoDakota email address if we can come talk to your group, if you need a DakotaLink poster, if you need some brochures. Again, we really just want to get the word out about this pilot program and make sure that all the individuals that need to use it, that can benefit from using it, know about it. So before we open it up for questions, we have another 2 poll questions for you. So we'll go to poll question number 3. After this information, do you think that you'll refer somebody to use the DakotaLink service? We have a lot of yeses, so that's fantastic. Keep them coming. All right, great. That's awesome to see. And then moving on to poll question number 4, if you are going to refer somebody to use DakotaLink service, what county service are they connected to? These are the general county services that folks are connected to, and this is the question that the bus operator is going to ask individuals. So what county service are you connected to? So we have a good mix. Wonderful. So some jail, some office visit, which can include case managers, probation, veteran services, some court, and a couple other. So if you clicked on other, if you selected other, if you wouldn't mind saying what that other is in the chat feature on the left-hand side of the screen, so we can learn more about who we are marketing it to. All right, so again, if you have any questions about DakotaLink, if we didn't answer any questions today, please put them in the chat feature on the left-hand side of your screen. Do we have any questions that have come in?
Robin, are the GoTo cards available for purchase from Cub Foods in Hastings then?
Yes, absolutely. So Hastings, if you go to the Cub Foods and go to the service desk, So right on the, if you go in right to the left-hand side of Cub Foods there, you can purchase GoTo cards. You can add funds to GoTo cards. They're also available at the West St. Paul Cub Foods and the Apple Valley Cub Foods, which are both very transit accessible.
And Robin, where exactly is the pickup stop in Signal Hills?
So the Signal Hills DakotaLink bus stop is on Butler Avenue. So it's at the cross streets of Butler Avenue and Robert Street. The bus stop is on Butler Avenue, and it's right next to the Walgreens on Butler and Robert. There is a bus stop sign at each of the bus stops, and you can see what that bus stop looks like on the screen right now. It's just a bright green bus stop sign. It's about 18 inches by 18 inches, and it says DakotaLink. So at Signal Hills, it's on Butler and Robert, right along Butler, next to Walgreens. At Cedar Grove Transit Center, it is in where all the buses pick up. So in that little cul-de-sac where all the buses pick up at Cedar Grove. And at the Hastings campus, it's right outside the entrance for jail releases, so right in front of the JDC.
Another question that we get quite frequently is, can I ride with my client?
Yes, absolutely. If you are going somewhere with a client, if you're going to a meeting, if you're accompanying them to court, you can absolutely ride with them. If family members want to ride with their loved one to go to court, they can absolutely do that as well. And it would be free for all of those individuals.
Robin, how many seats are on the DakotaLink buses? What's the capacity for passengers?
The capacity is 14 for each of the DakotaLink buses. Again, it is a small school bus, so it's a small yellow school bus, and it holds 14 people. If individuals need a wheelchair accessible vehicle, you do need to email GoDakota at co.dakota.mn.us to let us know. The current buses that we use are not all wheelchair accessible, so we want to make sure that we have a wheelchair accessible vehicle. If you use an electric wheelchair or a power scooter, or you just can't make the steps up the stairs. So just email GoDakota, and we will make sure that there is an accessible vehicle available for you. If you are working with somebody who needs training on how to ride DakotaLink, how to ride the connecting buses, the MBTA and the Metro Transit buses, Dakota County does have a travel training program that can work one-on-one with individuals to teach them how to use the transit options that they need to use. So if you're interested in that, you can email traveltraining at co.dakota.mn.us or call 651-203-0183. All right, well, we want to thank you all for joining today and for your participation. Please let us know if you have any further questions about DakotaLink, or if we can send you some brochures to have available for you. Thanks and have a great day.